Welcome aboard, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. This is Matt Tour. I'm a Vice President of Marketing here at Insurance Agency Marketing and appreciate you joining us here this morning. We're glad to have Leon Fitch here joining us here shortly, Regional Vice President from EquiTrust. He'll be going over some great information on some of their programs they're offering right now. He's got a couple nice big announcements he's going to be going over here. They're just announcing today at EquiTrust, so you'll be one of the first people to hear about this. So some great information we'll be covering in this morning's webinar. Try to keep this quick, probably in the half hour, 40-minute range, based on total time taken to do this one. So we'll keep this moving along. Glad you could join us here on a Tuesday morning. I know our weather is not the best here today in Omaha. Hopefully you guys are way better off where you're located out there in the country. So good time to be inside watching the webinar, for me at least. So right now we do have our top producer bonus programs going on. We've got some nice incentives for agents when they get licensed in the first 90 days of, or actually 180 days of production. You can get some really nice seminar packages, a boss radio program. We've got some cash incentives, iPads, all kinds of good stuff we're offering right now. It's based on the amount of business you write in that first 180 days. The more you write, the more the package is going to be worth. And we have a lot of agents doing seminar programs right now, a good way to get in front of a number of clients at one time. Post COVID, we're seeing these really starting to kick back. And it looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties there based on the connection here. Does that sound better, Leon?
Yeah, you're coming through good now, man. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep.
But yeah, we got a great back office support team here. And we got, people in that new business team. Got a great creative team also can help you put together some advertising and help you out that side of it. We also have a great contracting department. They can help you get your contracts through in a timely fashion. And that way you're able to get that business written as quickly as possible based on that. Got a great website. You can go to imsinc.com and we've got some great links in there. And if you wanted to take a look at the latest news on DOL, latest news on tax information, we do have a lot of those links in there for you. You can review at your leisure, and a lot of good stuff going on with that website. We can also look up rates. We do have the latest interest rates in there. If you're looking for a 3-year rate guarantee in the state of Michigan for an 89-year-old, you can look that up on our Annuity Rate Watch, which is part of our website. And then you can go on there and take a look at supplies. A lot of carriers, we do carry the supplies on our site. And we also have some great software you can utilize for quoting, maybe do a term quote, maybe want to do a income comparison for a client looking for the best income in 5 years. Got some great stuff in there you can utilize based on that. We do see more and more of our business coming in on e-app applications, digital, and we use the Firelight system, which I know EquiTrust is part of that. And our usage on that has grown drastically. Probably about half our applications now are coming in on Firelight. And it's a really simple system to use, way easier than having to decipher handwriting, and make sure that all the questions are asked when you have a longer application, which we have now. Using Firelight definitely helps you for not missing out on questions to be answered. So do keep that in mind. Most of our carriers are on Firelight now, and super easy program to utilize. As I mentioned, we do have a great creative team here. You can utilize their services for advertising needs. They can do social media advertising. We can help you out with emails, help you out with any company brochures you want to put together. Maybe you want to do a email campaign or do a hard copy postcard campaign. They can help you out with some of that stuff. And they do a great job on website development. I know a lot of websites have been out there for a while. They help you update your website, catch it up to the 2020s, and really help you out with that whole process. We do have a very good wealth management team we have available for you if you want to get involved in that side of the market. I know that I'm going to launch a quick poll here. If you have interest in having one of our specialist on that side give you a call. I know Duncan Smith does a great job. He's been in that security side for a number of years. We have seen a drastic increase in the number of our agents holding securities licenses where they never used to. I'd say out of our top 30, 25 of them have a securities license. Of our producers, great way for you to handle all sides of the business. You hate to refer a client down the street and they leave you down the road because you can't offer what these other companies offer. So you want to make sure you can, get as much of that handled as you can on your end, and great way for you to be able to handle all of your clients' needs. We have a lot of different platforms we utilize on the investment side. They have some systems you can utilize to get your Series 65 passed. Really some good stuff that you can take advantage of with that Times Wealth Management team. But once again, if you do have interest in having Duncan or one of his cohorts and give you a call, I'm glad to have someone on that end give you a buzz. Just mark off yes. But otherwise, if you do not have interest, just mark off no. We'll go ahead and get this closed up here. We also offer our academies. We do probably 2 or 3 of these a year now. We do have one coming up in May. It's going to be May the 15th to the 17th. Should be a really good meeting we're going to be holding here in Des Moines. And we've got a great program we put together for that one. I know we always see usually between 30 and 40 attendees on these. Great way for you to pick up some great sales ideas and some other information. I know we do have a lot of really good speakers coming in. We'll have some lead specialists will be in there amongst some other individuals. If you have interest in coming out to one of our academies, we got that one in May. It's May the 15th to the 17th. We'll have another one coming up probably sometime in the fall, maybe September, October-ish. We usually have a good group of individuals attend from throughout the country. You can pick up some ideas from them on sales ideas, some marketing ideas, some great stuff we'll cover. We do a roundtable at these events where you can bounce some questions off some of our presenters. Some of our higher end producers will be there. You really get some really top line information from them. We go over some life insurance material, a lot of annuity material. We'll go over some sales software. I know Leon came out to one of our meetings last year. Great attendance on that. We've seen a nice boost in business from those individuals that do attend. Their business usually goes up dramatically in the months to follow these meetings. They pick up some really valuable closing techniques, getting in front of more clients, a lot of good stuff they'll pick up. But if you do have interest in attending one of those meetings, I'll go ahead and leave this open for another 20 seconds or so. We'd love to have you out. We do take care of most of your expenses, and we take care of your lodging, your food, your travel. I know there's a sign-up fee this time around where you will get that refunded based on production. So if you produce, I believe, $250,000 of production, once you've signed up, and then we'll go ahead and refund that fee for you. So good way for us to take care of all your needs there. I'll go ahead and get this one closed up here. Keep moving along. We have some presence on Facebook and LinkedIn. We do some special advertising on both sites there. So if you do use the social networks, you can get on there, get onto our Facebook page, get onto the LinkedIn site. A lot of good stuff we do carry on those platforms. We also offer trips. I know we have one coming up to South Carolina here in April. And I'm not sure if you're going, Leon, or if it's going to be one of your fellow marketers there from EquiTrust will be on that trip. That's coming up the middle part of April, going to South Carolina. Beautiful location out there on the ocean. Great golf course, great amenities there. So should be a really good trip we'll have coming up in the next another month. We have not announced our next location. We should be announcing that shortly. It's an 18-month qualification. Qualification did start January the 1st of this year, and that'll run through June 30th of 2025. So definitely keep that in mind. Otherwise, Leon, welcome on board. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything switched over to you and give you the presentation platform here.
Yeah, once it clicks up, I'll get us set up here. And yeah, I am going to be there at your event here coming up in Kiowa. That's going to be a blast. Looking forward to it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I do have your screen up on the system now, so I can see all your slides and everything.
Up and ready. All right, let me get the settings switched around. There we go.
Had a
Should see that.
few Iowa State fans here in Omaha last weekend. I think
Oh yeah.
the town of Ames was empty because they were all here in Omaha at the basketball games. So glad to see
Yeah,
them advance to the next rounds.
yeah, it's been pretty fun. We're not native Iowans, but we've been here for going on 11 years. So we kind of root for both teams, so it's nice when they're
There you
good.
go. Right.
And it's been a pretty good basketball season on the boys, and obviously with Caitlin Clark, that's been a pretty big deal.
Right.
They had a tough one last night and figured out a way to win. So it was fun. So yeah, it's a good time of year to be watching hoops in Iowa.
There you go. Good place to be right now.
Yep, you got it, man. Who would have thought, right? I never thought of that when I moved here. So,
You got it.
But yeah, hey, Matt, appreciate it. And as always, right? So, a couple of things that Matt touched on, that Life and Annuity Academy, I did get a chance to attend that. I think it was in September of last year. And look, I learned a ton. It was there was just a lot of great material, whether it was just about how agents and advisors market their business and new opportunities there, or just, hey, concepts and products, right? And just getting better at what we do. And that's kind of what we're talking about today. So I've got two things for you today. One, we do a lot of, meaning, folks in my role do a lot of product dumps, right? We talk about product and why ours is, better than the other guys and all those things. And that's great. We all want to be competitive in the product space, but a lot of times having a solution or a concept to offer a client is more important, right? They have an issue to solve, and product is secondary to how do I solve this problem, right? Or how do I most effectively handle an opportunity that I may have. And I think that the partial tax conversion space is one where EquiTrust has some really unique provisions to its program. It's much more friendly. It's advisor and agent friendly, and I think it's one that we probably don't spend enough time talking about, because then I think once you understand, hey, this is an available concept, right, that I can help my clients with. And boy, EquiTrust really does a good job with it. Then it's easy to find a competitive product, right? We've got lots of opportunity there. That's the second thing I'll talk about. And one of the things that I'm going to announce is directly related and an advantage to this concept. So I got a couple of things. You guys will get probably a couple hour advance notice. Now, there's a chance that the newswire comes out from EquiTrust home office while I'm on here, but either way, you guys will get a little advance notice on a couple things we're doing that are pretty exciting. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it and talk PTC, partial tax conversions. So there we go. So, kind of the why or what, right, behind this. First of all, it's a very flexible, systematic program, right? So you can convert a traditional, separate, simple IRA to a Roth IRA. Okay, so really thinking about how do I get into a better tax position, and then our inherited IRAs over to a non-qualified contract. It conceptually very similar, philosophically very similar. There are some idiosyncrasies with inherited IRAs and eligible and non-eligible. We're really going to focus more on the Roth side today, but I will show you some resources and things that you can find on just specific to the inherited side. So first and foremost is we kind of talk product, right? Our PTC is available for any of our qualified in-force EquiTrust deferred annuities. So that's going to be an important thing to talk about here at the end, especially when we talk about some of our bonus products and the impact they can have on the kind of handling the taxable side of both of these conversions. So kind of why would we do this? So I think without just reading that paragraph to you, it's really about the maximizing the efficiency, right, from a tax perspective. We're not tax professionals and we don't play them on TV. We always say, hey, make sure you consult your tax professional. But really, I think it's about having some control over how much and when the client pays the taxes. Ultimately, we'd like the client to pay less tax over time if possible. And that's the ultimate goal probably for all of us, but definitely a solution you want to be able to offer to your clients, right? The flexibility really puts the owner in the driver's seat, right? Again, when and how much do they convert? they can start and stop this process with us at any point in time. We'll talk a little bit more about this, but they can change the amount that they convert, year by year. I think that's a little bit of an overlooked provision of how we do that, the fact that there's that flexibility. And here's why. It's an excuse every year for you to talk to that client, right? You guys all do at least annual reviews, if not, quarterly reviews with your best clients. And sometimes just having a relevant reason to meet other than, hey, just want to review your information and your products that you have with me, and just a general update. Boy, we really need to meet because we got to talk about how we're going to convert this Roth and or convert this IRA to a Roth or this inherited IRA over. And boy, we need to talk about, make sure we're doing that the right way. And that should get a client's attention and definitely make them a willing participant in an annual review. So I think it's a really good excuse, and that's what we're always looking for, right? Excuses to talk to our clients on a regular basis. So I think that's one we kind of overlook when we're talking about this is the flexibility and what that means in relationship to the client. A few different ways you can do it, right? We can do a one-time partial conversion. I'm going to show you an example of each of these here in a little bit. We can do a systematic partial conversion of a specific dollar amount, or we can just convert it over a specific number of years. So again, I'll show you kind of an example, high level of what each of those looks like. What does how does PTC work? How does a partial tax conversion work, right? So with us, there's some uniqueness. I know with some other carriers that do offer this as a solution, they do have some limitations on the amount that they can convert annually. A lot of times it'll be up to the 10% penalty free, and then every year it creates a new contract. It does not do that. We do not handle it that way, right? So you have one contract, which is the original that the original contract goes into. So in this case, the qualified IRA, and then you'll have one mirrored contract. Okay, so you essentially have two buckets. So you can see someone in marketing had the idea of the buckets. I think that's a really good illustration to show how this works. They have the same effective date, account allocations, client roles, all of the things. They're identical. It's just one vessel moving the money from one vessel into another. Keeps it very simple. So, you don't have over a 5-year conversion, actually 6 different contracts, or a 10-year conversion, you have 11. Gets really confusing for clients, really confusing, come the time that you want to review this. The account statement's really clean. So, that's when you start to look at, hey, what's a differentiator with how EquiTrust does that? That's one way, one or two things that I think really makes our program stand out. So look, why would we use this to convert to a Roth? Well, again, it kind of goes back to that original, having control of the when and how much, right? The ability to do the tax withholdings, at the time of the conversion. So we will handle all tax withholdings and all tax reporting. There's I think it's a pain-free way to experience the taxation, right, on a traditional conversion, right? The client's not writing a check, okay? They're essentially using the account value to pay the taxes, and then doing it within a financial vehicle, an annuity, that'll allow them to capture some gain in that contract, offsetting some of the taxable amount, right? So your client can have more control over when they pay the taxes. Again, right, 1 year I may be in a 22% tax bracket, the next I might be in a 24% tax bracket, right? Or whatever's appropriate, and we can make adjustments annually on that. Boy, I want to take a bigger chunk this year because I'm in a lower tax bracket, or I want to take less out because for whatever reason my taxable obligation is higher. So that flexibility is really, really key. So some of the advantages, right? So there's potential for tax-free growth. I'll show you what that looks like here in the form of a kind of an example / case study. Tax-free distributions after the age of 59 and a half. A lot of these things you guys know. No RMDs, and then taxable income and non-taxable income for beneficiaries. So a ton of advantages, to converting that traditional dollar over to a Roth dollar, right? So, along with, and I oftentimes get into a conversation, whether it's at a booth or just in a various events, when you start talking Roth and, hey, why, right? And then I always say, it always comes down to 4 letters, a 4-letter word, to me. And again, not a tax professional, but I do have eyeballs, and I see what's going on in the world today. and I think, okay, if I'm going to bet, right, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, whatever's appropriate to the client down the road, are taxes going to increase or decrease? Okay, you can have your opinion one way or the other. That's fine. I personally think they'll likely be higher. Okay, so if I can control, when I pay those taxes in a lower tax position, then boy, I sure as heck would like to do that. Okay, so those are the so that 4-letter word is math, right? It just comes down to simple math. But ultimately, that's a decision that the client needs to make and understand. So a few things to consider here, right? The 5-year Roth conversion rule. So this actually just made a call on this. And Matt, if you're kind of still listening in and you know this, feel free to jump in. And one question I had on this, and I'll get this answer. So for Roth conversions, right, earnings for tax-free or tax-free for the owner if the owner waits 5 years or until 59.5. What I'm trying to figure out is if that 5-year clock starts after all of the money is converted, or if it's with each individual annual conversion. I think it's when all those dollars are converted, but I'm not 100% sure. And I am going to get an answer. That's one that I actually looked on our FAQ and it wasn't on there. And I'm not sure if we avoid that one on the FAQ because it's more of a tax question, but I'll get that answer because that's one that I had, and I'd like to know because I do think it's important.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand there, Leon, is it's based on the initial conversion. So
it is. Okay.
You start converting today, your clock starts ticking your 5 years.
It does. Okay. Even on the last, say, in the 5th year, I make my last conversion amount. So once that's over, my clock had previously started 5 years ago. Okay. That's better.
That's kind of the way I understood it. And I thought it had to be 5 years no matter what your age was. So
yeah, it's 5. Well, it's 5 years.
Yeah. 59.5 rule.
Yeah, and I think that was for the tax-free side.
Right.
To satisfy both, right?
Yeah, I think you have to be 5 years plus you have to be 59.5. So you have to do both sides.
Right. Yep, you got it.
Yep.
Yeah, reportable distributions, right? So distributions from a Roth are reportable but not taxable, assuming obviously, again, this kind of goes back to the consult your tax your accountant, assuming all their IRS rules are met. No recharacterization. That's just a fancy way of saying that we can't go back, right? So once we're converting from a traditional over to a Roth, we can't recharacterize or convert that back to a traditional. So just understand that. No RMD conversions to Roth, so it's not possible to convert RMDs into a Roth IRA. And again, right, you've heard me say this multiple times, and this is for the compliance folks, right? Recommend that we are always consulting a tax advisor when having any of these conversations. Not that these are not accurate statements, but at the end of the day, it's always good to make sure that you get that box checked, right? All right, let's look at a few examples. So let's look at one where we're converting it over 5 years. We're going to use really easy math here. This is not assuming we're using any kind of a bonus product. It's just simply a value of traditional IRA of 100,000, interest rate of 3%, and they're at 22% tax bracket. Okay, easy math. So you begin it at year one with 100,000. We move 20% of that over. We satisfy $4,400 of tax withholdings. So after the taxable amount, we convert 15,600. You can see after year one, the original contract original IRA has 82.4 left in it to convert. We've now begun the mirrored contract at 15.6. At the end of that contract year, we're applying the 3%. Let's say we're a 3% fixed product, which all of our fixed rates are higher than that on our contracts right now. So this is very conservative, but this is really just for the point of understanding the math. At the end of that year, we've got 16,000 and some change in the new mirror contract, and you can track through here, right? Next year we convert, a little more than that, 20,000 or 20,600, pay the tax. There's our convertible amount, add that to the beginning value, apply the interest rate, and you can kind of go down and look and, hey, in year 5, right, my ending account value is 90,423. We started with 100,000, but now we've got, we had traditional money, now we've got Roth dollars, and it lets you kind of play this out. We play it out over 10 years to give a fair comparison to the ending account value here, just to show there's multiple ways to kind of skin this cat, right? So they got a little shy of 105,000 bucks in Roth money. Next example is doing it over 10 years. Okay, same concept. I don't need to walk you through it. It's just a matter of taking smaller bites of the apple from a tax perspective, letting it play out down to that same amount. And then, one where somebody says, hey, you know what, I'm gonna pay the tax at the end of the 10 years, right? This would be appropriate on an inherited IRA, right, where somebody's put it in, let this thing grow, and in that 10th year, they satisfy the taxable amount of 28,000, but ultimately ending in the same place, right? So you compare those on a grid, 5, 10, you got 5-year, a 10-year, or converting it, at the end of the 10th year. You can see the total taxes paid and the ending account value. Really, it's a customer preference. I think, anytime I can pay less tax, that the better. And I feel like this is kind of we're playing with these dollars kind of on a ledger, right? The client's not actually writing us a check, writing a check to the government. We're going to satisfy the tax withholdings for them and all the reporting. So just an interesting way to kind of look at, how this works, right? So how do we get this started? You may or may not have ever, used a program like this. Look, let's keep it simple and make it easy, right? So first and foremost, you can visit agents.equitrust.com. These two resources, Matt, these are two that I sent you. So I don't know if you've been able to add those to the platform yet. If not, you can send them out. But the FAQ, guys, I use that still, right? I mean, I look at things like, hey, well, I got to answer that question. What is the correct answer? These are great because you're going to get these from your clients. And then just some simple informationals on a one-pager there to help you with just understanding. Again, not overly complex, right? But there are some questions that are a little more intricate that these resources will really, help you answer and help you through and make you kind of the expert in the room. What are the tax implications, right? So obviously on a PTC, it's going to generate some tax reporting, a 1099 IRA distribution. That transaction will be captured. We'll handle that reporting. Shows the amount of taxes withheld if applicable, and then on a Roth, the 5498 shows the actual amount moving into the Roth contract after taxes are withheld. Again, EquiTrust is going to handle that reporting for you, generate these, capture these distributions. So, it's really you've heard the term set it and forget it. It can be that, right? A client can go, hey, I want to do X amount every year until this thing is converted. Or, we're going to talk about this every year and we're going to make adjustments, but they can truly have a set and forget it approach to this. Although I would still recommend reviewing it and looking at the performance of it every year, just as an excuse to get in front of my clients and oftentimes your best clients, right? So, again, we're going to make this easy. You don't have to be the expert in the room. Look, you can get in contact with Matt and he'll be able to answer a lot of these questions. He can work through myself or one of our internals. Our sales support desk is a great resource for stuff like this. They know all the nuts and bolts of how these things work. They're going to know where to find the forms and how to fill things out. The place is not to trip yourself up. Quite frankly, they'll alert you to some of those things better than I would. So, they're a huge resource. So don't, that number right there is our sales support folks, our sales desk. Those guys and gals are awesome, and they do a great job supporting not just us, but our partners as well. So that's where I would start, especially if it's the first one you've done. So Matt, I told you this one is a little bit of a quick hitter. It's not an overly complex concept, but an important one. So that's the end of that portion. Were there any questions? I didn't see if anything popped up.
No questions right now that I can see. I know that kind of in the middle of IRA season right now, and people are looking for places to put some of this IRA dollars, be it Roth money or your straightforward IRA traditional deposit. I know that EquiTrust has a really good product there with that Market 10, and with that additional 2% bonus you guys are extending. If people don't know this, but EquiTrust is going to be extending that additional bonus through June, correct, Leon?
Yeah, through June. So I just got it. Actually, that's part of the announcement, right? I don't know that we've announced that. I don't think we've sent the newswire out. At least I haven't seen it. That's coming today. So yeah, extending our bonus product special So 2% on our bonus products, that's going to remain in place through June. That's a big deal. That's really helpful with the concept we just went over when you start talking about, utilizing one of those bonus products to dump into that contract and automatically eat up 8% of taxable obligation. That's pretty cool, or 12% if you use the market power. So yeah, that's happening, which is great. And then we've got some really nice upgrades to our income rider, and what we're offering there. We're really going to be at the top of the table, in a lot of spots in comparison to some of the large players in that space. I know we've been talking a lot about accumulation, right, the last year, and that makes a ton of sense with rates to where they are. But I think it's dangerous to forget and not to have that income conversation. And quite frankly, Matt, you know this, right? I've been the first to admit it. We probably have not been the go-to on the income side. We've needed to get better there, so we're in that conversation. I think some of the things you're going to see come out today really put us in a really good place to be competitive there. And when you start to look at how we handle the fees and compare it to, we factor it off of the accumulation value versus the benefit base, and the net impact of that, on fees is a really big differentiator for us. How we look at spousal continuation. So we've got some nice things that, just from a contractual perspective, make us, I think, are competitive advantages. We just haven't had the product, the rates, the roll up where it needed to be. And I think we're going to be there now. So so a lot of exciting stuff to come there. And I promised I wouldn't make this a product dump, but I thought it'd be cool to tell you guys something before everybody else.
That's great. I just launched a quick poll too, Leon. If you have interest in getting some additional information on what EquiTrust has to offer and some of their products, so no, the market 10 right now is great with the IRA season. Some of these income riders you can add on to these policies, as Leon's mentioned, they're going to be increasing those payouts on that side, so they can be very competitive on that, which they really have not been in the last couple of years. So a good way for you to take advantage of these new programs, and your clients can get better payouts, and you still make the same comp. And based on those additional bonus rates that are available here through June, your clients can be miles ahead based on those additional dollars.
Yeah.
But if you have interest in getting some additional money or additional information on any of the products we discussed today, anything we go over here between now and the end of the program, I will also be sending out the flyers that Leon had mentioned. I'll get those out in the email to you here after the meeting, and those will go out to you this afternoon. But just mark off yes if you want to get some information.
There you go. And then, one thing I get, is kind of a wrap up, and it really fits into this conversation well, is we get a lot of suitability questions, as I'm sure you do. And, and when you've got the bonus products and you start looking at, hey, is this better for the client short and long term? Really we're looking at a net tangible, benefit to the client, so when you got somebody that's in an old contract that's not performing, and you're going to put them over into something that, like our market power, that right now they can get 12%, year one premium bonus, and if they put them in the fixed at 4%, a 16%, year one yield. And we start to look at, hey, are they better off, financially at the end of that? Does the math work? If we can answer yes to that, we're pretty friendly, from a suitability perspective. So, just keep that in mind. We don't do pre-approvals on suitability, but I do offer at least a semi-educated guess on, hey, is this going to be accepted or not? And that's really a good place to start, right? And then you guys all know, some of the other factors, right? Liquid assets, percentage of money in annuities, things like that are pretty standard. But that's really how we look at it. I think it's a common sense approach to suitability, quite frankly. Maybe not everybody agrees all the time, but that's, I think that's a benefit and just a good way to look at it.
Yeah, so a question just came up, Leon, regarding availability in California. So most of your plans are available in California, correct?
Yeah, Bridge is not. I think Bridge is the only one that hang on. There's a difference with. I'm looking at the all product now. I believe it's the market 10 that the rates are different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll send that out to you, Matt, so you can add it to your email. But all of our deferred annuities are available. Bridge is not. Bridge is in 44 states. That's our long-term care product. So if that's something you want more information on, we can talk about it. And we're getting close, by the way, to having Bridge in California. So at least that's what I was told last week. So that's some good news. That'd be a really, really big deal for us.
Right.
And I know anybody that has clients in that state. So
The market power bonus.
Oop, I lost you there, Matt. Now, if you can hear me, I lost you. But,
Can you hear me now?
I got you. Yep, you're back. You're back.
Yeah. So yeah, my headset keeps going dead for some reason.
Yeah, no, I think you were talk about the market power, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Not available in California.
No, that's what I'm just looking. I actually had to blow up the all products so I could actually read it.
There you go. Better get your glasses out.
read the fine print.
That's exactly it.
It's a shame to have to admit that, but I don't know if I included it, but I'll pop an updated all product summary over to you as well. And just so everybody that's on, you can find all that stuff on the agent portal, but Matt, I'll send it over to you. And then I can't remember if I didn't add it, let me know. I thought I might have, but that'll have, it's a really good resource, just kind of a catch-all with current rates, surrender charges, issue age, minimums, things like that. It'll give you some of the riders that are available, like on the market 10, right? We got the return of premium at no fee. Really nice conversation to have with, you got somebody that's skeptical with annuities for some reason, right? Hey, they've got a return of premium included, so it's just a different way to have that conversation, so it's a really good catch-all for all of our products.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you joining us this morning, Leon. We've had some more technical difficulties here. I think we'll get her shut down here.
Yeah,
but
sure thing.
Appreciate everyone's time this morning. I know a lot of people are active here during the week, so try to keep these as short as we can. But once again, thanks to Leon. All the announcements you'll be getting from us here today. Glad to hear they're going to extend that bonus another few months. Greatly good to have that in your pocket when you go out and see clients. We can have a 10-year contract in some of these states with a 12% bonus. That's really a nice feather in your cap to have on that call. So these 10-10 states that have that market power bonus on a 10-year chassis, really a nice combination in those states for what they have on the rates and also what they have with that bonus rate. And the availability of a flexible premium policy, a lot of carriers don't have those. EquiTrust does. So they have a nice suite of products available with flexible premium. Your clients can get that market 10 has an 8% bonus now for all deposits the first 5 years. They do have a non-bonus plan called the market value, and a 10-year chassis has really good rates, flexible premium all the way through. So really nice combination there. But otherwise, everyone have a great week. Enjoy your Easter weekends out there. Hopefully the weather will be nicer than it is today here in Omaha for you guys this weekend. Otherwise, enjoy the ball games. The March Madness continues. We'll see how it plays out here this weekend. And we'll talk to everyone the next 48 hours. I'll be giving everyone a call here the next 2 days based on today's meeting. Otherwise, anything you want to wrap up with there, Leon?
No, hey, just a final thank you. Appreciate everybody taking the time. As Matt said, I know everybody's busy. Hopefully we brought a little bit of value to your day and something that you can use with your clients. And as always, Matt, I appreciate your partnership and the opportunity.
You got it, Leon. Have a great week and enjoy the weekend.
Thanks.
All right. Bye, everyone.